Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Krista Escamilla Show. It's such a pleasure to spend this time with all of you. And if you golf in Midland, this is a familiar face to you. We have Jarrod Lawrence, the owner of Golf Headquarters, with us today. Jarrod, thank you so much for sharing time with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Well, we are excited to hear your story because, as I was telling you, a lot of people know you, especially they come in, they buy their golf clubs from you and everything golf, but they really don't know your story and how you got started in Golf Headquarters. So we get to start from the beginning. Let's go back to birth. Just kidding.
It was 1980.
We're actually going to go back, though, to what Tom Hall told me, who is your uncle.
That's my uncle.
And he told me you used to walk down to his house and ask you to play golf with your little plastic golf plugs. That's what you called them.
Golf plugs, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did your love for golf start?
You know, it's really funny. I really didn't fall in love with it until I was later in high school. I was 17.
Okay.
When I got started. And I started working at Ross Rogers for Sherwin-Cox up in Amarillo. And it was, just one of those deals. I wanted free golf.
Right.
Play with my buddies. And I started out as a cart guy and got to play for free and went out there and played when we should have been working, etc. Right?
Which is what you should do. When you're working at a golf course. Yeah, that's how the bug gets started.
I was a cart guy. So,
Yeah.
we were just waiting on people to get in. So while we waited, we went and played.
Go chip, and putt, and what a great course that is. Shout out to the Ross Rogers.
Sherwin retired a few years back, but I give Sherwin a lot of credit for kind of how I came up. Sherwin would probably hate me sharing this, but he really motivated me more than probably anybody ever. He looked at me the day I sat down in his office. I was actually going to follow my mentor, Rod Duckworth, over to La Paloma. In fact, I was bummed that Rod didn't take me right away. Right? I had to wait a little bit. And I sat down with Sherwin, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna go over there with Rod, and thank you so much for everything you taught me." And Sherwin looked at me and he said, "Well, Jarrod, some people are made for the golf business. Desi out there, he's really good, and he's going to make it. And well, I don't think this is going to be for you." And kind of
wow,
just smoked me right there in the chair, right, because I was leaving him.
Right.
And I went, okay.
Well,
see you later. I guess.
Wah.
Yeah, bummer.
Yeah.
So he actually came to the store, the new store, just a few weeks ago. That was a cool moment.
I bet that was. Yeah. But sometimes those little things, they motivate you more than you ever realize until you look back.
For sure.
And you're like, I am made for this business.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah, Sherwin.
Yeah.
It was weird because I grew up playing other sports, basketball.
I was going to say, my son just told me you're a basketball player.
Yeah.
So you played all through high school and.
Yeah, and played a lot of AAU ball, and I was very competitive. So when I started out with golf, Tom probably didn't tell you about all the clubs he fixed for me, right? Like
Were you breaking them?
No. Yeah. Some of them found a tree, maybe a pond here and there, but
it happens.
I was just so competitive, and just if I failed at golf, it made me irate. The ball's not moving.
How did you deal with that anger? Because I know you're not alone, right? I mean, every golfer feels those feelings. How did you deal with that through those years?
Well, I love it at the shop, right? Guys will come in, they'll try to make an excuse, like they didn't just snap this over their knee. I don't know, it just broke.
You're like,
it's
I know.
Cool, yeah, we're on the same page. But no, the way my dad actually told me, we're playing at Powder Creek. I was the director of golf out there at the time. And I'm just playing a little round, 9 holes with my dad. And he'd given me this Bertha 3-wood, and I literally hit my drive off number 3, this par 5. It's a pretty difficult driving hole. And I more or less just topped it, hit it about 90 yards right in front of the water. And so now I'm already mad. I hit the 3-wood.
But at least it was in front of the water.
That's right. It didn't go in.
Always got to find the upside to that.
That's right. The 3-wood, however, that I tried to hit after that did go in the water.
Okay. It happens.
And the 3-woods followed.
Oh, no.
And my dad's like, "Get that out of the water. I just gave that to you. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I said, well, Dad, it just makes me mad. I'm sorry. So I fished this thing out of the water, and he looks at me and he goes, son, I got news for you, man. You're not good enough to get that mad. And I went, yeah. He goes, you're not playing this for money.
Yeah.
This is for fun.
Right.
And you ruin the fun when you get so mad. And so it really kind of resonated with me, right? Like it was like, okay, this isn't that big of a deal. And so, of course, we all get frustrated when something doesn't go our way. But just remember, just stay grounded in the fun that you're supposed to be having.
Yes.
And it's all good. I lower the expectation.
Yeah.
Is really what it is.
Well,
so.
and that's the thing. I think we put too much expectations on
100%.
ourselves. Maybe you haven't picked up a club in 2-3 months, and you expect to go out there and shoot 68. And you're like, that is not the expectation. You have to manage your expectations. If you put in the work and you keep, you want to see some progress. But if you don't, that's okay too. Just get back to the basics, is what my husband always says. He always
100%.
Just get back to the basics. Go back to your setup. Go back. And so you've got to manage those expectations.
Well, it's like Tom always said, right? My Uncle Tom that you
Hi,
brought
Uncle
up
Tom.
earlier. Yeah, hey. He'll be watching. He's
a big. I know he's a big watcher.
So
I love
much,
it.
right?
He listens and watches.
But Tom was a huge part of me loving the game.
I love that.
He really showed me how to play. Tom was a great player at one point, and now he would tell you he couldn't hit balls in a phone booth, which I'm not real sure what that means, but I'm assuming that means he can't move very well. But the thing that'll make you just like with Tom, we played in Hawaii a few years ago. This guy that can't hit it anymore beat the crud out of all of us.
Nice.
Okay?
Way to go,
it just
Tom.
drives me nuts. But, Tom, he was such a huge part of me learning the intricacies of the swing, but more importantly, just having fun with the game. Right. He built my first set for me, stuff like that. He was a huge part of that for me.
So really, Tom is the reason why Golf Headquarters is the way it is today, because he kind of set that up, and that love for the game. And I want to just tell you how important you are to golfers here in West Texas. So my son explained it as, you are the. Do you watch Harry Potter?
Yes.
Okay. He says you are the Ollivander of Midland. The guy that picked the wand, or the wand chooses you, or he was explaining to me, he said, so that's how Austin explained you. My husband explained you as the tour trailer, right? Yeah. You are bringing the tour trailer so we can play the best of our ability, and you're giving us the tools. And I explain you as the guy that gives my kids confidence, because they walk out of a session with you and they're feeling in the top of the world because they know they have the best tools. You've told them, hey, this is what you're doing good. This is what we can work on. You're given that confidence. I think everybody here in West Texas probably has a story like that for you, because you really help change their game, because there's nothing better than walking out on the course going, okay, I know I've got the right tools. Now I can now I'm going to go shoot my best and have fun.
Yeah.
Tell me what you love about the job you do.
The biggest thing, like piggybacking off of that, is just with like your kids, right? We'll just start with them. They're all so special and very dear to my heart. I just love them all.
Thank you. And that's why you're sitting in this chair sharing your story today. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I've told you and Al both this at one point. I have 3 children myself, and I can only hope and pray that we do the job that you and Al have done, and that my children end up just even half of the way yours are. They're fantastic people.
Thank you. And I've met your kids, and you're doing a great job. You and Nicole are doing awesome. I mean, really. And isn't it the best thing? I told you I wasn't going to make you cry, but what do you love most about fatherhood?
Oh, man.
Because it truly is the best. There's nothing better than being a parent,
Yeah. It kind of goes side by side for me. This is, some people may not believe this. It's the absolute truth. At the shop, whether it's all the people that work for us, whether it's the people that walk through the door, I stress family. I want everybody that walks in to feel like they're part of something. I truly love every single person, even if I haven't met you before. I love you, and I'm
love
glad
that.
I'm glad you're here, and we want you to have that experience. Nothing's worse than if we failed somebody in that area, and it eats me up. I take it home every time if that happens, and I'll reach out to the person and try to make that right. But the biggest thing that I love about the business, and I saw this with Aspen and Allie and Austin. Austin and I had a couple of late night sessions, but yeah, they can go out there and they have confidence in their equipment. But the most important thing is that they have somebody that believes in them, that will encourage them, and more importantly, they're confident in themselves. They have that knowledge of, I can do this.
Yes.
And in this sport, you have to have that.
Couldn't agree more.
I can do this.
And it carries over to other aspects of their life.
100%.
And that's why it's so important to have people, I believe, and that's why we're so thankful for you and for some others that have really poured into our children. It's important to have someone other than the parents telling them, I think you're great. Because I tell my kids all the time, I think you're amazing. But they're like, that's just mom. That's just mom thinking that. It's important for the other people to tell them the truth and tell them that they can do it, or hey, you can do it, but you got to do this. It's important to have those people in your life, because as you get older, and as you and I both know, as we get older in age, you don't have as many of those people in your life as you do when you're young, right?
Sure.
When you're young, you had Tom Hall pouring into you. You had I can't remember the gentleman's name, Sherman. Yeah. You had him, you had these people in your life. I call them giants, and you have these giants in your life, and you are in a position where you're being a giant in these kids' lives, and the adults too, that come see you for swing advice. But it's it's got to be rewarding, because there's nothing better than finding what your gift is, and then being able to share it with others.
100%.
And I know that you get to do that, and that's awesome.
When I was at La Paloma, and I give Rod Duckworth so much credit. We still talk to this day, not as often as I would like, but Rod's impact on my life was huge. Him and Tom both told me two things that I've never forgotten. Okay,
get out your pens, people.
Get them out.
Write this down.
Tom was a great basketball coach. He touched so many young people's lives. And back when I was still teaching, Tom told me, Jarrod, be careful with your words, because the young people are always listening to you, and you can impact them so positively and so quickly very negatively. He said, so always choose your words. And Tom was the type of guy that even if they lost the game, even if it was a championship game,
right,
Tom would call a timeout. They might be losing by 20 in this championship game, and everybody's bummed. And Tom would call a timeout and say, guys, give me effort for this last minute. Go as hard as you can go. And then whatever the result is at the end, we'll go get ice cream. Yeah. Right? Yeah. He just had that type of mentality. Yeah. And to piggyback off that, Rod, as I was coming up at La Paloma, again, kind of the young man temper thing, right? This bravado of you got to respect,
Right.
Rod pulled me in his office one day and he sat me down and he said, Jarrod, you're great at this. You're great at this. But I'm going to tell you something, buddy. You have to have a servant's heart to be in this business. And if you can't do that, you can't do this. Yeah. You have to have a servant's heart. That's what this is all about.
I love that.
And I've tried to really keep that through the years. And I've always tried to operate very humbly and just listen to people. Steve Plemons, when I got here, he was such a big part of introducing me to the town. And I listened to his advice when he drove me around and showed me where I should live. And I just try in every situation to take something and learn something every single day, whether it's in a fitting or whatever. I don't claim to know everything there is to know about fitting. I've done a lot of them. Yeah, right?
You're pretty darn good.
There's always something we can learn. Right. There's always a unique aspect to a swing or whatever that we can learn from.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can learn something new every single day. Jarrod, this is so much fun. We have to take a quick break because it's time for quote of the day.
Sweet.
So what we do is you just pick in any quote you want out of here, and then we read it, and you tell me what it means to you. What'd you get?
I got unique.
Ooh, the unique quote. All right.
Never let anyone steal your joy.
Oh,
Man,
that is a good one. What does that mean to you?
that's crazy. So, it's funny how, stuff like it just comes up, right? Like,
Right.
Joy is something we talk about at my house a lot. We teach the 4-year-olds at Stonegate. And it's one of the greatest things about my life at this point. I love the kids. And Nicole's a great teacher. She does a good job of teaching them. I do a good job at rallying them up and, making them harder to teach. But,
Getting them all excited.
yeah.
I could see that.
But to understand joy, you really have to look no further than a child and to see how they go through life and just the utter excitement that they get over a sucker.
Right.
Or, something, right? And for me, I always try to keep that, we talked about age a minute ago. I'm not old.
Yeah. No,
I'm
you are young.
I'm very young.
You are very young. We're just getting older.
Yes. But in my head, I have more of that childlike,
Yes.
I try to, that's joy to me is that. It's just trying to stay in the moment and enjoy the moments and trying to uphold that, right? And always find positivity and whatever.
Couldn't agree more. And never lose that. This is a cute story and so true. Allie, she's our youngest daughter, third child. She has always had such joy on the golf course. She used to skip down the fairway. Her and Aspen would be skipping down the fairway. And I can remember this like it was yesterday. She's now 18, but she was like 10 years old and she was skipping somewhere. And I thought, I never want anyone to steal her joy. Like I just remember saying that to myself. I hope she skips the rest of her life. I hope she always
100%.
has that joy and never because sometimes the world can try to, break that joy and take it away from you. But it's a mindset you can tell yourself, I'm never going to let anyone steal my joy. And that's why I love that quote. So
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite quote
So
that you live by?
One of my coaches back in the day, his name is Rick Cooper. He's now at Texas Tech as some form of assistant, right?
Okay.
He's got some cool title, but Rick's a great family friend. Him and Tom are really close. And Rick was so kind as to let me in the Wayland Baptist University basketball camp 1 year early.
Oh, fun.
I can say that now, almost 35 years later, we're cool.
The words of my dad, he used to always say the 10-year rule is in effect. Like you can tell me
Yes.
anything that
Yes.
happened 10 years ago. You won't be in trouble.
Yeah, it was really cool because Rick let me compete, and he let me go to the varsity camp early, and it was a great experience.
That's awesome.
But Rick, in every single camp, quoted Ralph Waldo Emerson and said, "Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm." And it was one of the quotes. I think it was a 5-day it had to be a 5-day camp, right, during the week. So every day had something, and that's the one that stuck out every time. Because in the moment, I was like, that sounds so dumb.
Right.
But think about it. If you approach a day, you wake up, and today's gonna be bad. Yeah. But if you wake up, get going, and just have enthusiasm about whatever you're gonna do.
Right.
For me, if it's a fitting, like I want to go in there, and I want people to look at me like, what is wrong with this crazy person? I want to be enthusiastic because it just takes it to another level. It allows people to have joy in those moments. So
I could not agree more. All right, we are going to talk a little bit about business. You recently had an expansion,
Yes.
which is just amazing. And now I mean, I'm going to ask you why you did, but I believe you can help even more people now because you have more bays and you have a bigger space for your great team who is awesome. I mean, y'all are achieving that family feeling when you walk in because you walk in and everyone is as nice as can be when you walk through the door. But tell me why you decided to make that leap and go to the bigger space, because as a business owner, we know, oh, that can be scary, right? We all make those decisions on what we're going to do, but tell me why you did it and how it's going.
It was kind of impulsive, honestly.
Nice.
The lease came up in the old spot, and they're trying to do what every place in Midland's trying to do, right? That has a commercial real estate or what have you, and they are trying to get their number up, right? Okay, whatever.
We understand, but it's tough on us business owners. Yes.
Yes. But anyway, they had these 2 spots that had been vacant forever, and I just said, well, what if I took both of those? Where are we at then? And we negotiated a great deal. Nice. We had a capacity problem. We had expanded once already in the old store and added that new bay, which was great.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if we had a double booking, which happened twice, which was just embarrassing and terrible, but
it happens.
It happens.
It can happen.
It was both times it was an honest mistake. And the people were pretty understanding about it, which was great. But that's one great thing about this town. And I've seen that from the beginning. People here are just so great, understanding and humble. And I'm from Amarillo originally, and you don't see that as much.
There, really? Okay.
There, you don't have as much of that community feel as you do here. So that's really cool. But anyway, we had a capacity issue there. So as you said, right, we added another bay, which was huge.
Right.
And then, the other thing was, what's really the next step, right? If you're not changing, you're not growing, and
that's right.
we're trying to just take the next step. And, Cody was an intricate part of that. Z obviously is an intricate part of that.
Hi, Z. Talk about enthusiasm. He is always smiling. I love his energy. I mean, I could see him anywhere, and he's got that big smile, and he's just full of, hi, how you doing? Yeah, I love it. Yeah, enthusiasm.
And he's definitely one of the big favorites up there. I mean, Z is not only a great friend to me, he is a brother to me. I could go on, and same with Cody. Both of those guys have been around for a long time, and they do a great job. They care. They care about the people, and that's if you can't do that, you can't work there, right? So my rule when we hire on is, I'll get with each person, and I've got 2 rules. This is a family, and from the moment you hire on, we're gonna love you.
Oh,
that's
the
number
good
one
rule.
thing.
That is a good rule.
And we work together as a family. Families fight sometimes. We disagree. There's going to be things, right?
Yeah.
But we're a family, number one. And then the second thing is, you're going to act as a team. We work together on things, and we treat the people that walk through the door just like family, just like we treat each other. And if you can't do that, you can't work here. If you can't accept the love, if you can't accept the family, then you can't work there.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Absolutely. I think that's great.
That was the whole heart of it. We grew pretty fast once, when I first moved here and Lisa still had it. I tried to run it just like it was mine, right? Just with the same enthusiasm and all that. And it grew quickly to the point where I was like, okay, the ice cream shop finally went out. We can expand a little bit. But when this new spot came up, it opened up a whole new, I'm gassed by 3:00 from running around that place so much.
I love it. And that's what's great. When you love what you're doing, the day goes by like.
It really does. You look up and it's 3:00. What happened? So some cool things happened. We added the bays, but we were also able to add this tour component dynamic. We were able to, one of the things I wanted to do here in Little Midland, it's super cool.
It is cool.
We're one of 30 accounts in the country that have the Titleist tour components.
Wow, that's awesome.
We're one of 15 accounts in the country that can claim the Mizuno components.
Wow.
we're one of 60 accounts in the world
Right.
that have Titleist components. So we now have
So
components with every major vendor in golf: Callaway, TaylorMade, Titleist, Mizuno, Cleveland Strixon. So now we can give the customer, the people in Midland or Fort Worth. I've got a lot of people come in from there. I've got some people a guy I work with in St. Louis. Hi, Alex, right? He's in town. I haven't seen him since 19. It was pretty cool to see him yesterday.
That is awesome. Hey, Alex, tell everyone about us here and when you get back to St. Louis.
That's right. But it's super cool because we're now able to give kind of that tour van experience.
Love it.
It's made us get better in fitting. It's made us get better across the board. We carry thousands of shafts at any given time.
Yeah.
You know, we've been able to expand that a little bit as well. Just so many good things came out of the expansion, and it was more of just to solve a capacity issue, and it was quite literally just kind of impulsive.
And it's working.
Yeah, it worked out good.
That is awesome. Well, I'm so happy for you. And I was going to ask you your best piece. You just gave us like a bunch of great business advice. But if there's anything else that you think is the best piece of business advice that you would give to an entrepreneur, someone wanting to start a business, or someone that's been in business like you for a while and wants to see that growth, what advice would you give them?
Most investors will tell you can't time the market.
Yeah.
Right? They'll say, well, I'm going to put my money in when X happens.
Right.
Well, okay, you're timing the market. Don't time the market. What I would tell any entrepreneur, and your husband Al does this so well. I look up to him a lot.
I do too. He's awesome.
He's
awesome.
incredible.
Yeah.
He's the biggest thing about Al is he's fearless. And that's how I've always tried to be. When I finally got the opportunity, I got told no by literally every bank, every local bank here, every bank in Emerald. Everybody told me no. It's my favorite story. I don't know if you know Chris Cole. Do you know Chris Cole?
No,
He was the.
I don't think I do.
Chris was the CFO at Security Bank.
Okay.
Okay, at the time. Okay. And I'm in the office with Jarrod Thomas, and Chris Cole gets on a conference call with us, right? And we're talking about getting this loan, and Jarrod's like, "Well, do you have any land? Do you have a house? Do you have?" I was like, "No, dude. I've got an apartment and will. That's what I have. And my numbers, I brought them to you 2-3 years in a row here, and I've never missed. I'm within $1,000 of a yearly projection every single day. Right. I know this is going to work. Yeah. You just got to give me a shot." I was like, "You're taking chances on $10 million holes in the ground, and you won't give me $700,000 or whatever."
Right, it was proven record for 3 years. Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, come on. So Chris gets on this conference call with me, or Jarrod conferences him in, I should say, and Chris says, "Jarrod, what you doing?" And I said, "Well, Chris, I'm trying to get this money, man." I said, "Tell your guy." And he goes, "You got any land?" I said, "No, sir." He goes, "You got a house?" I said, "No, sir." He goes, "Jarrod, I'm going to be real with you. You ain't going to get that loan because you ain't got no money. It's as simple as that." And I went, "Well, Chris, if I had money, I wouldn't be here."
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
But yeah, it was a super funny deal. And at the time, security, they're great people over there. But at the time, they just weren't really into that type of lending.
Right.
And finally, I got an opportunity with Keith at Chase Bank, and I sat down with Keith, and he asked me. He said, "So what's the backup plan?" I said, "There's not one. Yeah. There's no option of failure." So the advice that I would give anybody is just go. Yeah. Don't wait. Don't time it. If you believe in yourself, you believe in your abilities, just go.
Good advice.
And trust yourself, trust the process, and just work your tail off.
Yes.
And if you'll do that, you'll be fine. Yeah. Don't try to time it. Yeah. If you've got a great idea, do it.
That's right.
Just go.
That's why you and Al get along so well.
That's right.
Because he's got the exact same. It's like, what are we waiting for? Let's just do it. Let's just jump in.
It's so crazy with him, right? Yeah. Like, seriously, it could be anything. Whether it's let's start a clothing company,
right?
In 2 days, Al will have everything you need done.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true. It is true.
We'll have to do that today.
Yeah, I was going to say he's got a new one. Yes, he's got a new one.
We've got a new
to
idea.
watch.
Good.
Yes, a new idea.
My guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
and he's
just
an
fearless.
idea guy. And I think you have people that have an idea, and then you have people that bring them to fruition and that make it happen. But you can't make it happen if you don't have that mindset that says, "Let's go. Let's try." What's the worst can happen? It doesn't work. Well, we've all had things that haven't worked, right?
100%.
I mean, I've got a list a mile long things that haven't worked, but that's okay because that leads you to the things that do work, and that's what leads you to the experience. All right, let's do a question of the day. All right, you can read it, or if you can read my writing, or I'll read it.
Brave.
I got the brave card.
Tell me something about yourself that I wouldn't find in your bio or resume.
Oh, I love that question.
Okay.
Okay, what you got?
Is that for me?
That's for you.
Oh, okay.
Tell us something we wouldn't know.
I'm going to tell you, it kind of goes back with the last thing we were talking about, because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this is. I want to tie it into what we said.
Okay.
Because I think that everybody needs to hear this.
Sounds good.
We all fear, right? Mm-hmm. And we all fear what?
Failure.
Failure. Mm-hmm. All of us.
Everyone. Yeah, it's universal.
All of us do. And failure is, or the fear of failure, let's just say, is it'll freeze you. It'll stop you from accomplishing. Mm-hmm. A lot of people may not know, I don't have any fear of failure.
That's awesome.
And here's why. Every time I failed, which I have a bunch,
Yeah.
you get to learn something. Mm-hmm. And when you get to learn something, you get to take the next step to where the next time that probably won't be a failure.
Yeah.
But I'm not afraid to try things.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid just to jump in and go for it. Because, like you said, what's the worst thing that can happen?
What's the worst thing?
You fail?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we get to learn something.
So we have to start over? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
The cool thing
about...
do a plan B or C or D or E or...
it's such a... The cool thing about money, right? I've never had a lot of it in my whole life, ever. Mm-hmm. Still don't. It's just, that's true.
Because you're a business owner, and it goes right back into the business.
And I try to give it to everybody.
And you're a family man, and it goes right to the family.
It goes straight to the kids,
yes.
right?
Yes, we understand that.
Those are great little investments.
Yes, they are.
But the cool thing about money, you can always make some more of that.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So don't fear failure.
I love that. And it's true. You can't, because the fear will paralyze you. I always relate it to procrastination. A lot of people think when they procrastinate something, it's because they're being lazy, but it's not. You're not picking up that phone call or that phone to call that potential customer because you're fearing they will say no. Yeah. And so it's like that fear of failure will paralyze you, causing you to procrastinate, when really you just got to go, I just got to go for it. I just have to do what's on that to-do list, or I just have to pick up that phone and make that call. Mm-hmm. I just have to go and expand and
That's right.
and take that risk, because you never know what's going to happen. But I can tell you something good's going to come out of it, because everything, is it Nelson Mandela that says, I never lose, I either win or learn. And
That's right.
I love that quote, because
100%.
it's so true. You never lose if it doesn't go the way you want. Okay, guess what? It's time for favorite things.
Okay.
You ready? So favorite things. I'm going to ask you your favorite things, and you just tell me what they are.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Favorite book.
I'm going to say Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Oh, did you know Austin's a big Lord of the Rings fan too?
Yeah. We've talked.
Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing, like, I read really slow, and it frustrates the heck out of me. So
I fall asleep is my problem.
Yeah,
I fall asleep.
In school, I had to skip around.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you had a test over chapters 1 through 4,
Mm-hmm.
I had to read 4, and then 2, and then 3, and then 1.
I understand.
So I haven't made it through all of the books, right?
Uh-huh.
But as books go, that's my favorite.
Awesome. All right. Favorite major.
There's not another one. It's the Masters.
Yes.
The Masters.
That's where I see. I thought you'd say that's where I'm wearing my green today.
Well, maybe that's why I said that. So I got to go several years ago
Really?
with Tom.
Fun.
And
was it his bucket list? Was it on his bucket list?
well, he had been before,
Okay.
but yes, I mean, that's, anytime you get to go to Augusta, there's not a reason not to go,
Agreed.
right?
We're
tell
still
you,
waiting. We're going right someday, sweetie. We're going.
This may be too much information, but there's really nothing that comes up. But Cody and I were talking this year during the Masters, and his wife's pregnant with their second child. Congrats to Cody.
Congratulations.
And so we're sitting there in the office talking, and him and Katie were sitting there talking, and the night before, and Katie says, "Well, what if you got the opportunity to go? Do you think that everybody would be okay with that? Do you think Jarrod would be okay with that?" Blah blah. And Cody's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." And he goes, "Not for nothing, just so you know, if that comes up, I'm going.
Right.
Like if somebody offers, I'm just going.
Right. Someone has 2 tickets, and there's an extra
That's
for
right.
me. I'm out the door.
Jarrod's going to get it. I'm going." And I told him, "You're absolutely right, Cody. In fact, here's what I'll tell you, is that if your next baby was to be born on the Saturday of Augusta and you had to leave, brother, I got you. I'll be in there with Katie saying push, and I would do that for you so that you could go to Augusta. I would do that for you."
That's awesome.
So weird stuff in the golf business.
Oh,
but,
no. Does this happen? No.
No.
I thought that would be weird.
Yes, but I would do that for him.
Yeah, that's
how
awesome.
important Augusta
I
is,
love
right?
It. I
would
love
do that for him.
Yes. That's
Anyway.
great. All right, next, favorite course.
So the easy answer here is my favorite course that I've never played is Augusta.
Okay.
I cannot describe that place to you.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful place on earth.
I bet.
In fact, there's in the movie Rudy, the dad walks into Notre Dame Stadium and he goes, "This is the most beautiful sight these eyes have ever seen," or whatever he said.
Right.
And that's exactly what you say when you walk through the gates. So, course I've never played is Augusta. La Paloma and Amarillo sticks out to me. It's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
I love that place. That place was awesome. And then I played Dove Mountain
Where's
in
that?
Tucson.
Okay.
That's where they used to play the Accenture. And I saw Alice Cooper on the range. And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's super cool. It's a really fun course. Locally, I like Odessa Country Club.
Okay.
It's probably my favorite.
Awesome. All right. Favorite club. And it could be, I don't want you to get in trouble with your vendors. It doesn't have to be the actual club. It could just be your 7-iron, your driver, which one?
Okay, so it's definitely my driver.
Okay.
As far as my favorite company, and if it offends people, it is what it is. Callaway.
Keller. Nice.
I love Ely Callaway's whole theory in business and just how he treats his people.
Nice.
It's very much the same thing. Very family oriented, very customer oriented. Their customer service is second to none, and they make the best irons in totality for people.
Is that what my kids hit?
No.
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 Do some of them? I don't even. He knows more about my kids' clubs than I do.
No, like once you get to your kids level, right? We have to get out of the game improvement stuff.
Okay.
Now we're talking about different companies,
Okay,
right?
gotcha.
Like Austin I think he still has the Srixons actually.
Probably. Yeah.
We've been playing those a long time. And then Alex, we just got him some new shafts. That kid,
Oh, he's
special.
he's on fire right now for golf. He is out there till the sun goes down.
Doesn't surprise me.
And he is loving those new irons, and he's working them out. Because there's always an adjustment when you get a new set of clubs, and you've got to figure out how they're going to work best for you, right? And what's going to get the most out of your ability. And I feel like he's doing that. He's working hard.
Well, what I always tell people in fitting, and it's the most important part of our job, I always told Austin, brother, you go play. Let me be the dork, right? You let me fix the tool.
Gotcha.
You just use the tool. You just go play. But the whole heart of fitting, and this is just continued to grow, and it will continue to grow. Because again, we're always learning stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
But the key to fitting is to be able to give someone a tool that they can do it their way over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
And therefore, it makes their way better,
Yeah.
right? Makes it more
That's
consistent.
right.
So,
That's right. It gives them the confidence that they know they can hit that club.
Yeah.
The way it's supposed to be hit. Yeah.
Aston's my girl for sure. I just love her.
And when she loves a club, she had one Sweetie, do you remember what it was? Was it a 3-wood? I think he just stepped out.
I think it was a hybrid or a 3-wood
Aspen
had.
Yeah, it was a something hot Callaway.
Yeah, it was an X-Hot.
X-Hot Callaway.
She did not want to get rid of that club. She loved that.
It was a
club.
hybrid, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was 12. Alex just took it out of his bag.
Yeah, we just got rid of that thing. It's been in your family for generations.
It has. We just pass it on.
And they all hit it well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And that's why they don't want to get rid of it. When you, because you're doing your job well. You're getting them the club.
Maybe that's what it was.
That's what it is.
But Biddy, when she came in and was 13, I'll never forget. I looked at Al and I went, Al, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm gonna do it because that's what we need to do. But we're gonna put her in an 80-gram stiff in her hybrid.
Okay, what does that mean to us non-golf talkers?
So first of all, 13-year-old girl that hit her 7-iron further than I did. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it's literally as close to like a tour type quality shaft that we put in there as you could get.
Okay.
And she was 13.
Right. Yeah.
So, Austin, and it kind of went like this. Austin, man, he just worked his tail off, and he was so goal oriented and stuck to his guns on his goal. I remember one night we had a session, and I said, Austin, what's our goal, man? Well, I want to do good. I said, let's revise that. What's our goal? What are we doing here? What's our next step? Well, I said, say it.
Say it out loud.
I want to win state. I said, okay, let's modify that just a little bit. We're going to win state. And he did.
Yeah.
Because he worked his tail off.
Yeah.
He's the hard working, just grind it out. Just awesome. Aspen was so special because she has this demeanor, like, whatever, is what it is.
I'm going to, just go out and shoot 70.
But she has this fire, right?
Yes.
Like this crazy, just like fire inside of her.
Yes.
That it's cool when she kind of lets that out, and that's why she was successful. And then
Yes.
Betty's just, as you said, just so joyful.
Yes.
But super, super crazy talented.
Yeah.
Alex is the one that I'm really excited about.
It's going to be fun
I
to
love
watch
all my
him.
other ones. But it's interesting to see how he's picked up I bring all the other 3 up when talking about, because he picked up from all of them.
He did. Well, he learned from them because he was from a young age out there with them from like, I don't know, 3, 4 years old, out there playing with these older siblings that are just, I could go on about how much I love my kids, right? But I just love their interactions with each other and the way they love to be together. They would spend every summer day together, the 4 of them out there from a young age. And to me, that's something pretty special that you don't always get to see. And I feel like we've been very blessed with that, with our family, that they've poured into each other. And now it's fun to see Alex at 13, be more like how they were at that age. And now he goes out and plays with them. And now they're razzing each other. So it's like a different dynamic. And it's just so much fun. But like I said, I could talk about my kids all day long, but I don't want
to. Yeah,
and thank you for that. I appreciate that. But I want to hear more. And hi, guys. They don't listen or watch, but hi. We're like, hey, did you watch today's podcast? No. Yeah. But maybe they'll watch this one. We're super proud
Uncle
of you.
Jay's
Love
on
you.
here, right?
Yeah, you guys
come
have
on.
to watch this one. But no, we appreciate you because really, truly, if you have juniors in golf, you need to take them to Jarrod because he not only gives them the confidence and the tools, but you're giving them a safe place to go talk golf. And I think and how did you learn so much about the golf swing? Because I know you know this about Al. Al can look at a golf swing and go, "Oh, this is what needs to change." And I know you can too. How did you get there? How did you learn that?
I have to give Tom a lot of credit there, because again, Tom kind of showed me the fundamentals early.
Yes.
It was super funny how he had me set up just so I could hit it off the ground.
The plastic golf plugs.
Yeah, the plastic golf plugs, yeah. So I'll give Tom a lot of credit there, but after Tom kind of introduced me to the game, like I picked up golf super, super quick. My first round was actually in Hawaii.
That's not a bad place.
That's a pretty good
That's
first
a pretty
round,
good
right?
first round. That's what I'm saying.
It's my two uncles, my dad and me. My dad shot 106 million, and I was right behind him. I think I shot 125 the first time or something. And that may have been the only time my dad beat me.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Because after that, I was just ticked. Everybody beat me, right? And anyway, the game of golf just kind of came natural. Within 6 months, I was shooting 77, 76, 78. I
mean,
picked
that
it
is
up
quick.
really fast, and I was just like motivated to figure it out because I wanted to beat Tom so bad. Well, through that, I never had a lesson, none of that. And through that, I kind of just learned the nuances of the move.
Yeah.
What I try to take is the things that I struggled with. I feel like everybody at some point is going to struggle with, right? So I can recognize those things in the move
Okay.
very quickly, and we're able to call it out, talk about it, and more important, I always used to tell parents, if you're looking for a mechanic person, I'm not it.
Right.
I'm going to get your kid right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge their mental game and make them see it and know it and understand their move, so that I always wanted them to be able to define their move to me in words.
Nice.
That's what I always try to
I
get
like
them
that
to do.
because that's so important. Because as we all know, golf is so mental. It is. Yeah. There's physical and there's certain aspects to the game, but the mental aspect is so important. And we always tell the kids, golf is what you do. It's not who you are, because
Bingo.
that is so important for them to learn. Because you can get caught up in this is who I am now. You know, if you have a bad round, you just have a bad round. It's okay. We all have bad days. We all have bad things that happen.
Absolutely.
But
We're all going to fail at some point.
We're all going
right?
to fail. Exactly.
Let's learn from the bad round.
All right, let's check our time, Jarrod. I'm sitting
Okay.
here today in Midland, Texas with Jarrod Lawrence. He is the owner of Golf Headquarters, and we're having such a good conversation. I feel like we could do this for like 3 hours.
Probably could. Yeah, for sure.
But I have to finish my favorite things list that I
Okay,
have.
I'm sorry.
What's your favorite coffee? Are you coffee, tea, water? What do you drink?
Half and half tea, no coffee for me.
Are you talking Arnold Palmer?
No, I'm talking sweet, unsweet,
Oh,
regular.
sweet, unsweet.
Yeah,
Okay.
anything else, it's not happening.
Okay, there you go. I don't know why that was on my list, but it was. And Dream Team. What is your favorite? If you could go play the Masters, since that's the course that you want to play, who would you take? Who would be your foursome?
That's awesome. Tiger,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Got to take
yeah.
the GOAT.
Yeah. Have to.
I would probably add Jack in there. But Tiger for me, he's more my generation.
Right,
But I feel like for the second person I would take, which is Tom,
Yes. Oh.
he would probably make me take Jack. Right? So
right.
he might
He'd
could
be
ride
like,
with
if you
Jack.
get Tiger, I get Jack.
And then the other one. Now, this is Dream Team.
Yes.
Okay. I get it. Jesus isn't here.
Right.
But that's the fourth one.
That'd be awesome. I love
Okay.
that. That is the dream team of all dream teams right
Yeah.
there.
But if I can't, if you say, well, Jarrod, okay, take Jesus out, then it'd probably be like Z or,
One of the guys.
just somebody from here.
One of
right?
the guys.
Somebody
I love
that's
it.
close to me.
Well, I say you can have 6 because in our family we will go on a course with all 6 of us.
Well, that's perfect.
So go ahead and extend yours out a little bit.
Great. I'll add Michael Jordan.
Because that is my
and-
dream
yeah.
team always is playing with our kids and my husband. So I love it. This has been so much fun, Jarrod, and I want to finish up with something that I know is just near and dear to your heart is, of course, your family. And so I always like to hear, we've talked business advice, we've talked about golf, we've talked, what to you is the best thing about being a parent and best parental advice to those out there that are raising little ones? Because you're in the thick of it. I call it, you're in the busy age. Like I'm in a different stage, right?
Yeah, you're in the cool stage.
Well, they're all cool. I love every stage. I do. I truly do. And I was given the best advice when I was pregnant was never wish them out of a stage. And I didn't really appreciate that advice until they were a little bit older. And I was like, They were right. Don't wish them out of diapers. Don't wish them out of,
For sure.
toddler. Don't wish them. And now I just am embracing this new adulthood stage. But what would you say? What is your best piece of advice and what you're loving about being a parent?
Well, so when Aria was born, she was the princess and, all of that. And then Hadley came along and she's like a mini me. She's wild and crazy. And Aria did not like that very much. And then Reed came along. And we went from man-to-man coverage with Aria and Hadley to zone defense.
Okay. Exactly what you're talking about.
The first rule there, and it's funny, you and Al both have told me, well, you might as well just have a fourth, because once you've had three, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, you're already doing all the things.
I'm
You're
not
already
doing
making...
that.
You're not taking our advice there?
No.
Because then everybody has a partner.
You're right. But I'll also be like 85 at, high school graduation.
No, I
we don't want
understand.
that.
Your family's perfect and right where God wants it to be. So
Yeah,
you're good.
so the biggest thing, and it piggybacks off what you're saying, right? Find joy in all the moments. My children mean the world to me. And I always want them to love life, not through spoiling them and stuff like that. Appreciating people, loving people. My daughter is Aria. She is just so precious,
She is.
She's really embodied that, just loving on people, and she's not afraid to talk to people and just interact. And Reed and Hadley will get there, right? They're still little, but embrace all those moments. Don't look at when they come in your room and sleep with you as a pain in the rear.
Right.
Give them a big hug and hold them there and sleep with them till the morning. It'll be all right. You'll be a little sore, but...
Because one day they stop and you don't know when that last time is.
That's right.
I mean, I can't... you just don't. And,
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, just enjoy the moment. And sometimes those moments are so hard to enjoy because we let the outside world affect our inside world, and just shut it off and enjoy the moments. I always say, take a pause and breathe.
Yeah.
Just be still, right?
Yes,
Just be
for
still
sure.
and know, and just be there with them.
Awesome.
Just be in the moments.
I love it. Good advice. Good
Yeah.
and great conversation, Jarrod. It's been so wonderful getting
Yes.
to know you more and hearing your story and just how you think and look at life, because it is life is meant to be lived in joy. And
Yes.
I love that you share that with the golf community, because I think golfers need the joy all the time, because it's the only sport where, usually there's a game, right? It's back and forth, but it's not over, till no sport is over till the end. But every hole is almost like a sport in itself, like
That's
one
right,
little mini,
yeah.
like a little mini tournament. So there's 18 of them, or if you're playing a 3-day tournament, you're looking at this emotional roller coaster. And I think it's so important to keep that joy through even the bogeys and the doubles, or
right.
the triples or the quads that I have. But
The out of bounds balls,
yes.
the water balls. But
keep the joy.
pan out a little bit, big picture.
Yes.
That's life.
That is life. That's right.
We're going to succeed on one hole, and the next hole we may not succeed, but we can learn from that
That's right.
and beat the next one.
Last thing, at the end of each show, we always ask if there was a nonprofit, because we make a donation on behalf of our show, the Krista Escamilla Show. What nonprofit would you like to us to make our donation?
The Life Center.
The Life Center.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Dub Huckabee. I play in his tournament every year. We're going next week, actually. in
Love
Vegas.
Dub. Just saw him yesterday.
And those people do great work over there.
All right. We will make
They
that.
saved like 6 or 7 babies' lives the first year when we went to Mississippi, and this was 8-9 years ago, right? Now it's over 1,000. It's 1,500 lives
Wow. That's
that
incredible.
they save a year. It's unbelievable what the work they do.
That is incredible. And
Life Center.
we will make that donation. Thank you so much, Jarrod. And thank you for your time. If you have a golfer, if you're a golfer, if you want to know anything about golf, go into Golf Headquarters today. It is fantastic. He will fix your swing, but more importantly, he will fix your head and make you feel great when you walk out of that door. Thank you so much for this time and for
Yes.
everything. We really just love the work that you and your team do. And you can, of course, follow them. Are you guys guys on social medias?
Yes,
Okay.
we're on, first of all, it's shopgolfhq.com. That's the
Okay.
website. And then we're on Facebook and Instagram. We have some Father's Day stuff we're doing on there. So, yeah, they can check us out there.
Fantastic.
And not for nothing, but I know we're out of time.
Yeah, that's okay.
But thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me. It means the world that you would ask me to do this. Number one, I really look up to you and Al. And thank you for what you do for our community and for all the people that you touch. You are amazing.
Well,
You're a wonderful human.
that makes me feel so. Thank you. Well, I appreciate those kind words.
And
you're
Al, I
welcome.
feel the same way about you, buddy. You're just not sitting here, but
He's always
I'm
behind
going to
the
give
camera.
all the love to Krista here. But you guys are amazing, and thank you for what you do for this community.
Well, we love this community like you do, and we are happy to do it, and we are happy to spread the joy, spread the word about golf, spread the everything, and we just want everyone, I mean, truly, to live their best life and to find their joy. I mean, that's what life's about. And we can,
100%.
if you're ever having a bad day, call me and I will tell you can do it.
That's right.
and Jarrod will tell you can do it.
She has all kinds of cool quotes on her social media every day.
I'm a quote girl.
And it's awesome.
Well, thank
what
you
do
so
for
much.
people.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Jarrod. And thank you all for listening today. We appreciate you. We appreciate our sponsors, Rig ID Workwear, Midland Cap and Cup. If you'd like to be a sponsor, give us a call. We'll add you to the list. But we are just so appreciative and love our community so much and love you for listening and sharing this podcast. Until next time, remember my life mottos: dream big, believe in yourself, and never give up. You make it a great day.